must be a determinable interest, and most times people own lands, they own cars, they own buildings and things like that. From one time to the other, there used to be development of problem and all that. Some of this ownership, particularly land, is attached to tradition, you know. But I want to ask you, Council, has court any right to say no to culture and tradition of a people? Can they invalidate customs and tradition of a people in any way?
Actually, our court has that right also to interpret the law and also give fair meaning and look and view to an existing tradition, culture, or a usage of a people. In one breath, we say that the court can make law because there are certain legislation which, when the court gives its interpretation, it becomes the trend and the view and the intention or intendment of the lawmakers, and that becomes a law. A situation where a court also looks into a tradition and gives its own interpretation, it can amount to invalidation of the culture, tradition, or usage. But there are certain factors or elements, upon which the court can hinge in doing this. The court cannot just do it arbitrarily. There is what we call, compliance with fairness, equity, and good conscience. This phraseology is always interpreted not separately, but in conjunction with one another to give it a bite. It simply means that any form of culture, tradition, or usage which is contrary or inconsistent to equity, good conscience, which is inconsistent to fairness, which is contrary to natural rights, and which is also grossly contrary to the accepted principles of laws, the court can go ahead to invalidate this type of customs and traditions or usage.
This is where there are some similarities in logic of philosophy and law that at the end of the day, if one logic defeats the other, it is said to be a law. Now, as from what you have said, abịa omenani enwere ka iwu law ga-esi bata na ya arapụ ife a na-akọkọkwa ife ọzọ ọwụ na omenani adaa mmiri. Abịa na nke ndị na-emewe iwu, the legislators, both at the state level mana National Assembly, enwere ka ọ esi bịa na court ahapụ ihe a na-ekwukwu ife ọzọ wee were ya ka ọ kena ife anyị kwuru ọfụma n'Igbo ka ndị na-ege anyị ntị nwee ike ịghọta ya. And nke a gasịa mma akpụ igwe eji ekwu okwu ibido jụba enwe ife nwere ike ịjụọ dịka anyị na-aga n'iru ka ọ kena ife a n'Igbo ka okwu ọha na eze nghọta ọfụma.
Ana m achọ ime ka ọha na eze ndị ọma na-ege anyị ntị, ụmụ Anambra anyị ji eme ọnụ, ụmụ ala Igbo oke mba, ka ha ghọta n'eziokwu na ụlọ ikpe anyị site n'ajụjụ ajụrụ m nwere ikike ịgbanwe ụfọdụ omenala, ụfọdụ ihe ndị a na-eme na-egosighị egosi, ụfọdụ ihe a na-eme a na-asị na ọwụghị na ọ dịghị fair, ọ dabasịrọ, na ọ bụrụ ike oke nhatanha. Ụmụ ụdị ihe ndị ahụ ụlọ ikpe nwere ike ịbanye leba ya anya. Ha leba ya anya, ha ga-achọ ime ya ka ọ wụrụ ihe wụ ezi ihe, owu ihe ekere nhata nye nwoke, nye nwanyị, nye ikwu, nye ibe, nye mmadụ niile. Maka na a na-asị na iwu obodo na ebumnobi iwu obodo wụ iweta udo, iwetakwa ịhụnanya, iweta ekwu n'otu. Ihe ndị a wụ ihe ụlọ ikpe ga-eleba anya. Onwe ụmụ omenala obodo na-adabasịrọ dịka anyị na-ahụkwa n'oge dị ugbu a ihe gbasara osu caste system. Mmadụ niile aghọtago na ọ dabara. Kọtụ anyị enwekwana ihe ha kwuru banyere ya. Ha sị na onweghị otu mmadụ Chukwu kere, maka Chineke kere anyị niile ka anyị niile ghara ọhata ọha n'iru ya. Chineke ahụ kere anyị sị na anyị niile bụ mmadụ. Ịbịasịzie na mmadụ wụ mmụọ, ma ọ na mmadụ na-agọrọ ya mmụọ, ma ọ na mmadụ mere otu a na o mere otu a maka wonte na ọdị ọda ọ dabasịrọ, ụlọikpe anyị ga-asị mba na ọ bụrụ otu a ka esi eme ya. Na si mee Okeke ka emere Okafọ.
Nke a bụ ihe iji maatụ.
Yes.
But when a lady is married, she changes her surname to that of her husband. Can she still have a share in the property sharing of her father? Because even in my own village, probably your village, and many villages in Igbo land, when the father gets old, he summons the male children and apportion land to all of them in order of seniority. At the end of the day, the lady receives nothing. Now, when we get to what the law says, how the law may interpret it, when a lady is married, surname changes to that of the husband, she no more answers the father's name. Then during the property sharing, this lady is not given anything, be it land, house, and some other things. So what does the law say actually?
Looking at it from where we came, or where we started, or the tradition so far, we will understand that the Igbo race, in some parts, actually disinherit women from ownership or sharing of property of their father, of their deceased father or their late father, as the case may be. And this, or in some other part of the Igbo land, in fact, they even disinherit both the mother and the children of sharing from the deceased father's property or inheritance. While in some other areas, the entire property of the late father inures to the first son of the family, who now will, in his own wisdom, share to his younger brothers, as the case may be. While in some other areas, men traditionally can call their family members, and in their presence, they can share certain things. But in each of these scenarios, like the last I have mentioned, that the man in his lifetime may share his properties, calling witnesses, his brothers, his relations, telling them that this my house, I give it to this my brother, this my son, this land, I give it to this my son. If in that process, the man did not give anything to the children, it cannot be regarded as having been disinherited. I mean, the female children, it cannot strictly be regarded as having not been, because we can regard that as customary will, customary sharing of property by the person in his life. Then a situation again, which when a man dies, the mother, the people from the mother's side will now come and take over all his.
Let's not go back to any other side. This one precisely that has to do with the sharing of the property by the man himself, excluding the ladies or the girls in his family. What does the law say? Does the law uphold such traditional laws that ladies should not be given anything in terms of property sharing? What does the law say exactly?
Look at how I have tried to classify it. There is a difference between a man sharing his property while he is still alive,
yeah, or
while he is intending to die. There is also a situation where a man makes a will in his lifetime. These two scenarios will be guided by whatever the man has made.
What if the man decided to be wicked on any of the kids, male or female?
If the man, so long as the man is of sound mind, that is his own decision. That is, he can even decide to disinherit the children, all of them, and will everything to a charity home.
And court will uphold it.
The court will uphold it. But a situation which I want to actually make clear is a situation where the man died intestate. He died without sharing his property. And what now comes in, assuming he is a man, married to so many other, to 2 or 3 wives, a man who is known for his culture, a man who never engaged maybe in monogamous or polygamous this thing. So this same man, the aspect of sharing this property now will now fall on the children or the relations. And in such a situation, if they disinherit a married daughter of the said man, she can challenge such disinheritance because the owner of the property have not disinherited she. And as such, our court can make pronouncement which they have already made concerning inheritance of the deceased father. The pronouncement of our court is that the lady is entitled under equity, good conscience and fairness, that the lady is entitled to inherit the property of the late father. When you come to Onitsha, you will understand that culturally that even females also inherit, is embedded in their culture. So in different parts of Igbo land, there are certain things, one can see the way they do it, and this way they do it. So long as that the man himself is not involved in that particular sharing. Because if he on his own have shared that property on his own, it is as good as being assumed as a will or as a customary will anyway.
Okay, thank you. There is Cine Viewer. This is Citizens and the Law on ABS television. Channel 2 for Oka. You can get us on Star Times 113 and also on Metro Digital Channel 29. The counsel or the another gentleman in the studio is Barrister Larry Emeka Nwangu, and the topic you can see on the screen is property sharing in Igbo land. And when we will come back from this break, we continue from where we stopped. Okay, counsel, I want to ask you again. In a polygamous family, a man married the first wife, did not take her to the altar, they did not wed. The second wife, he took to the altar. They wedded before God and man. The first wife gave the first male child. The second wife also had her own first male child, but the male child of the first wife is now older than the second wife's first son. And this man has a lot of hatred on the first son of the first wife, loving the second wife and all her children. He married both of them. If out of this hatred, he considers or he takes the first son of the second wife, wedded wife, as the actual first son, and in sharing his inheritance, he does it in accordance to his level of love, thus giving the lion's share of the whole thing to the first son of the second wife. What does the law say?
A situation where a man delves into marrying more than one wife, it can no longer strictly be regarded as a Christian marriage or a marriage, that is guided under the art. It has deviated into, no matter how you want to paint it, into a polygamous relationship, which is only known to Africa, and it is not known to the law. So there is a division, or should I call it a dichotomy, between polygamous and monogamous marriage. But when you now want to mix the two, and in so doing, you are now carried away by what we call love that is not even, love that is not based on certain issues, love that is hinged also in hatred of one party or the other for no justifiable cause. A situation where you go ahead to disentitle a person who also ordinarily ought to have inherited. When such an issue is presented to the court will look at so many issues before arriving at this a decision. And some of those issues they will look is as to what was the state of mind of the said deceased person at the material time when he was doing this. Was he carried away? Was he lured away? Was he confused? Was he... there are so many things. Now, women, they have so much power in order to shift the attention of a particular man unjustly, to their side and neglect the other side. A situation where a man refuses to train also the child of the first son simply because he is so much, should I call it infatuation or deeply in love with the second wife, will be an eye-opener also to the court that there is something fishy, because the law expects, even the Bible says that a man who do not provide for his family is more than an infidel. So the law also will also look at those things, those circumstances, and then they will do what is just, because the essence of law is to do justice. The essence of law is to interpret certain conducts in a manner that it will benefit A and B. So long as there is no major issue that denies the first son from inheriting, so long as biologically he is the father of a marriage, he is a son of a marriage between the mother and the father, he is entitled, to certain inheritance from his father.
Entitled to the right of the actual first son.
Exactly.
Okay. We have to open the lines now. The numbers there, esteemed viewer. If you want to ask any question, all you need to do for us is to tune down the volume of your TV sets. You can do that on the numbers clearly written on your screen there, 090-729-72090. The other one is 070-627-24192. I am fast in calling the numbers because they are there on your screen. You can ask any question you want within the context of the topic, in English language or in Igbo language. So, Counsel, what do you have to say about the inheritance of a widow by the brother of her late husband? Is it permitted by law?
In customary.
We have a caller here. Right. Hello. Tune down the volume of your TV set, please. If you want to call us, you tune down the volume of your TV set so that we can hear you very well. Go ahead, Counsel.
I say ordinarily in Igbo land, our custom sometime in certain parts of Igbo land depict a situation where a woman who is a widow, for instance, maybe she did not have any child or she did not have any male child, as a sin to have been dispossessed of the property of the late husband, because they will always say that she will carry this inheritance of their brother to their own house, or to get married to another man, and therefore the wealth of that family will now leave the family to another family. They are seeing family in the large context of family, not seeing family in a situation where it is between a husband and wife and their children. So the definition of family in that broad context is what have always given them that impetus to actually deny or dispossess a woman of the property or inheritance of her late husband on these grounds which I have actually listed.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. That's what the Igbo people call ikuchimwanye. Inheriting.
Yes, I'm getting to that place. I'm only trying to analyze this situation. Then I will now come to, because what you are saying is a situation where a brother of the late husband will now take over the ikuchimwanye.
Because the woman is both an asset and liability.
It is that definition also I'm making in the broader sense of a family, and in the restricted sense of a family. Because when you see it in the broader sense of a family, then any male child, any male is common among the Jews in those days, because which from where we inherited almost most of our cultures. So when this man now takes over, he will now begin to procreate on behalf of his own late brothers and in the name of that his brother. And the custom expects him to take care of, but he will first amass the wealth of the late husband. So over the years,
what does the law say?
Over the years, it began to occasion great hardship on both the woman and the family. And the law began to look at it in various forms of its ramification. And a situation where the woman now has a right to say yes or no to that kind of custom. And more so, the law also sees it that there is no way a late man could be deemed to have been making sons and daughters. Or are you getting where I'm coming from? Yeah. So this situation now entails that woman is on her own, and therefore is entitled in law to inherit the property of the late husband, because both of them may have suffered, struggled to make the said property or money, and upon the death of the husband, you will now reduce the woman to nothing simply because she is a woman. The law does not really allow that, because even those children, they also need to be taken care of. And it is their mother and the wealth or the property which the husband may have left. It is true that the children of the family can be taken care of, because situations have arisen where the brother to a late man who now takes over the wife and the family and the property will abandon the family. The children will not be trained, and so many other things. And he will squander the wealth of the late brother. So the law will always come in to say that the woman has a right to accept, not to accept. It can never be mandatory anymore, as it may used to be in the past. It is now, if she agrees, if she accepts, that is the way it is.
Away from the conjugal relationship that may exist if the woman accepts, now landing precisely on some towns that comes forward to inherit the property, the business of their late brother, not allowing the wife or the children at all to participate in the administration or enjoyment of such property. What does the law say?
This is very wrong. They cannot do it. The woman has a right with the children to challenge such in court, and the court will pronounce in her favor, in the sense that she is, so long as she is legally, not what we call Lagos marriage, where two people cohabit and start, giving
Bearing
birth to children. So long as she is either customarily or legally married to the man, then she is a bona fide. She is bona fidely entitled to claim the property of the late husband.
So, dear esteemed viewer, this is where we want to draw the curtain in our today's edition of Citizens and the Law on ABS Television, Channel 24 Oka. It has been Barrister Larry Emeka Nwangu. On that topic, property sharing in Igbo land. Council, I thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, the presenter.
And I am Jude Mascot Obiagu, the presenter of this program, saying a big thank you. And I wish every one of us a happy Christmas, which is coming to an end in some hours, and welcoming you to a prosperous and healthy New Year 2019 that is coming on in some hours ahead of us. Do pray, do say your midnight prayers, the midnight warfare into the 2019, so that it shall be well with us. Thank you. By this time, next week, in 2019, we'll be coming up with another interesting package. Until then, bye for now.